Today's reading is from John 1. The next day, Jesus decided to leave for Galilee. Finding Philip, he said to him, "Follow me." Philip, like Andrew and Peter, was from the town of Bethsaida. Philip found Nathanael and told him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, and about whom the prophets in the law wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph." "Nazareth? Can anything good come out of Nazareth?" Nathanael asked. "Come and see," said Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said of him, "Here is a true Israelite, in whom there is nothing false." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. And Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree, before Philip called you." Then Nathanael declared, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." And Jesus said, "You believe because I told you I saw you under the fig tree? You shall see greater things than that." He then added, "I tell you the truth, you shall see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." We do, I'm sure you'll agree, we do like to tell people of our discoveries and our finds. In these days before the global pandemic, before tier systems, before lockdowns, do you remember those days? Feel like history now. But in those days we would share with each other our discoveries of restaurants we've found, good places to go on holiday, of shops where we'd found certain desirable items. If you found a good gym or a good hairdresser or even a good dentist, you would tell others, encouraging them to share in what you had found. These days, admittedly, we've levelled that down to our findings are generally limited to what we find to watch on TV, and possibly extending to which supermarket has home delivery slots still available, but that's lockdown for you. The point still remains the same though. When we find something good, we tell others, we tell them about it. And yet, when it comes to our faith, we suddenly become a bit more reluctant to do that. And it's not really surprising. Our faith, our relationship with God, is close to our hearts. It's more important to us than the TV programmes that we watch. If someone wants to reject your suggestion of what to watch or where to shop, then, well, that's their lookout, isn't it? But when someone rejects your faith, then that's more difficult. I know it is. But you know, that's not the only reason we keep quiet. Often we have made this all too difficult than it needs to be. You believe you need a reasoned argument to defend what you believe and doubt that you can give all the answers. It's better if you don't start something you think you can't finish. But do you know what? It's really not true. Very few people want a theological discussion. I promise you that despite my ability to talk about it, nobody has ever asked me about political themes and liberal theology found in the Gospel of Mark. Not one, not a single person. It's disappointing, isn't it? But generally, people are just far more sensible than that. They don't want to ask. In today's reading that we've just heard, we hear the message that we can share with others in its simplest form. Jesus finds you. Jesus sees you. We have found the one that changes everything. Come and see. Come and see. And we hear Jesus finds Philip. That's all it says. Jesus finds him. And later on we hear that Jesus had seen Nathanael. He'd seen him under the fig tree. Again, there's no detail. We don't know what Nathanael was doing there. He may have been studying the scripture because that's where rabbis taught. But equally, he may have been having a rest or a spot of lunch. We don't know. But whilst he was living his ordinary life, whatever he'd been doing, we know that Jesus sees him. While we carry on with our ordinary lives, our daily lives, Jesus sees us. We are seen. But today I want to go back a little bit in the story. Go back and focus on that invitation that Philip gave Nathanael. So we find Philip excited, convinced by what is found, and he goes off and finds Nathanael, who is cynical and doubtful. I like Nathanael. How many of us can relate to him? But Philip just gives him that simple invitation. I have found Jesus, the one who changes everything. Come and see. Come and see. And that's what I've got to share with you today, for you also to share with others. I've found Jesus. Come and see. All too often and all too easily, these words can and do become, come and see what happens in a church building on a Sunday morning. And to be honest, it would be really convenient for me if everyone took up on that offer. But it's not really the invitation. The invitation is simply, I have found Jesus, the one who changes everything. Come and see. And as our church buildings are closed at the moment, it means that I and other people can offer that invitation without any danger of you thinking there's a hidden agenda. So here is the invitation to you today. I found Jesus, the one who changes everything. Come and see him. Come and see him in the work of those who are feeding the hungry, in the generosity of those people who donate to it, in the love of those who put others' needs before their own. Come and see him in the work of those fighting for justice, in those being a voice for the people who are unheard, for those shouting out for the rights of our NHS workers, our teachers, those bringing attention all the workers who are underpaid and struggling to live, for those who have highlighted the injustices in our benefit system and spoke out about child poverty. Come and see him at work there. Come and see him in the quiet. Stop and wonder at God's creation. Watch the sunlight and the shadows on the frosty ground. See the raindrops in the puddles. Watch the sunrise and the sunset. Come and see him as we worship. Join us online, as you might be doing now. Watch songs of praise, however you're going to join in. Come and join us and see him in our worship. Listen and pray. Sit in his presence and wait. It doesn't need to be difficult. In fact, it really shouldn't be. It's as simple as the invitation itself. We have found Jesus. He changes everything. So come and see him. Come and see.